4 billion years ago, Earth was an unplayable map for life. Asteroids bombarded the planet, volcanoes dominated the landscape, the atmosphere was highly toxic to us and had no oxygen, and life didn't exist. But then something strange happened. Almost as soon as the map settings allowed for life to spawn, life appeared. And that might tell us something important about the rest of the universe. Several life builds could have been successful on Earth, but one life build became dominant. Today we're loading the Earth map to find out how life first spawned and why our build won. Let's start playing. The Earth map has finished loading and we have entered the Archean Eon. This eon begins 4 billion years ago, and immediately we receive our first notification. The heavy bombardment event has been triggered. This is a natural disaster event that often happens during the early stages of a star system, where asteroids and comets left over during the formation of the star system smash into the inner planets. For Earth, this means that impacts are happening far more often than they do today. This might seem like very bad news for anyone trying to spawn life, but these impacts are also delivering one of the most important resources on the Earth map: water. And because of these impacts over millions of years, Earth is about to become something very unusual: a water world. So let's take a look at the map settings of early Earth. Before life can spawn, we need to know whether this map is actually playable. Earth has finally cooled enough for liquid water to exist, but it is still very warm. Its oceans are estimated to be between 55 and 80 degrees Celsius, and its atmosphere is filled with greenhouse gases such as methane and carbon dioxide, which help keep the planet hot. But there's another major difference compared to Earth today. There's no free oxygen in the atmosphere. And before we can begin the major objective of the Archean Eon, spawning life, Earth must pass 4 tests. If Earth fails even one of them, life cannot spawn. Let's see how Earth performs. The first requirement is a liquid where chemical reactions can take place. Earth is a water world and therefore passes this test easily. The second requirement is chemical building blocks such as carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen and oxygen. Earth has all of them in abundance and passes the second test. The third requirement is an energy source. Life needs energy to power chemical reactions, and Earth has many available energy sources. Sunlight reaches the surface, and volcanic activity releases energy-rich chemicals from Earth's interior, so Earth passes the third test. The fourth requirement is stability. Life needs enough time to emerge before being destroyed, and this is where Earth might run into trouble. The heavy bombardment event is still active, asteroids continue to strike the planet, and if major impacts happen too frequently, any early stages of life would be wiped out. That might sound like a major problem, but geological timescales are extremely long. Even though the heavy bombardment event is active, there can be hundreds of thousands or even millions of years between major impacts. This gives chemistry plenty of time to experiment. Earth has now passed all 4 requirements, and the Earth map is officially playable, which means that we can finally begin the major objective of the Archean Eon: spawning life. But before life can spawn, we need to choose a life build, and there's actually quite a few different builds available. Scientists have proposed several life forms that are completely different from life as we know it. Some are based on alternative chemistries, such as silicon or boron. Others are far more exotic, including life in neutron stars or life made of dark matter. So why did our build win? The answer lies in the map settings. Carbon is abundant on Earth. Its chemistry works very well in water, where it can form incredibly complex molecules. On Earth, silicon is not a good choice, because its chemistry does not function well in water. And boron is far too rare to be a viable option. So on the Earth map, the carbon-based life build is the recommended option. So we will select that, and now we just need to figure out how to spawn it. And that is actually pretty difficult to do. Before life can spawn, we need several major unlocks to happen. The first problem we need to overcome is information. Life needs a way to store information and pass it on to future generations. Evolution can then make changes to this information over time, spawning new species and unlocking new abilities. DNA stores this information for life today, but on early Earth, this unlock is known as the RNA World. This is where a type of molecule called RNA becomes able to store information and make copies of itself. But information alone is not enough for life. Life also needs a boundary separating it from the outside world, which can be achieved by the Protocell unlock. Here, fat-like molecules naturally form tiny bubbles in water. These structures are known as protocells, and they create a protective membrane around their content. But for life to spawn, something remarkable still needs to happen. A protocell must successfully close around a self-replicating RNA molecule, forming the first simple cell that can pass on information to future generations and protect the genetic material inside it. Now that we know the unlocks needed for life, let's press play and see how long it takes for life to spawn. Something very interesting has happened. Life spawned almost immediately. As soon as the Earth map became capable of supporting life, life appeared. The game has barely started. We are still very early in the Archean Eon, and life has already spawned. This actually raises one of the biggest unanswered questions in science. How difficult is it for life to originate? Did life appear so early on Earth just by random chance? Or does life quickly emerge whenever the conditions are right? If that is the case, our universe could be teeming with life. We do not know the answer to these fundamental questions, but what we do know is that Earth is no longer a dead world. Life has spawned and our first objective has been completed. In the next episode, the tiny living cells we have spawned will unlock a powerful ability that will completely change Earth forever. Photosynthesis.